100 grams.
Why did you do that?
It's the one ham nobody wants to cook up and eat.
Oh. No. Into the video. There you go. Okay, if I'm being honest, I've had bad turkey before on Thanksgiving. I've had very bad turkey. I'm talking so dry that you bite into it and the back of your throat instantly turns into a desert. I've bitten into that kind of turkey. I hate that kind of turkey.
That's the problem, is like, as cool and as good of a cook as like my mama and aunts and mom usually are.
They can't do turkey?
I don't think they can do turkey very well, because I didn't actually have decent turkey until like I was probably in my 20s. And like I was always just like, I don't understand why everybody's always so stoked over turkey on Thanksgiving. Like, I'm stoked about the giant bowl of mac and cheese. Like,
I'm stoked about. I'm stoked.
Like,
I'm stoked for my grandma's macaroni, her corn, her potatoes, her ham, like the ham they do, the rolls, dude. There's like turkey is usually low on my tier list until I find out who made it. If I find out my Uncle Steve's the one who made it, I'm going in, because my Uncle Steve does turkey right. You know how he does his? He boils it. Like, no, he deep boils it at first to get it properly hydrated, and then he cooks it in the oven, and he bastes it as it's cooking.
It just doesn't sound good for some reason, though.
Why is that?
Boiling turkey?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You boil the turkey to get it properly hydrated, and then you put it in the oven, and then you baste it as it goes. You use, like, whatever seasoning you want. He usually uses, like, black pepper and a little bit of seasoned salt. And he does that, and then you cut into it. The turkey is still juicy as hell. I love it. I love it whenever he cooks the turkey. Because every time he gets out the... Because every time, like, whenever, like, someone else cooks a turkey, they get out that electric, like, meat cutter. No, for my uncles, he always does the knife, sharpens it up, and cuts through like butter. You bite into it. It's juicy. It's got the pepper. It's got the seasoned salt. It's been basted properly. God, it's so good. That's the only passable turkey that I have eaten during Thanksgiving. Outside of that, I'm not impressed by turkey. Turkey's overrated.
I like deli turkey. Like turkey sandwich.
No, that's fine, but that's not like.
But like Thanksgiving turkey, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
I think it's overrated, but that's probably just because nobody that I actually have Thanksgiving with knows how to make a really good one.
Yeah, for me, the holiday ham, like the corn, the mashed potatoes, like everything.
There's like 1,000 other dishes that my mom and sister know how to make so much better than turkey that I would rather have during the holiday season. Yeah,
I miss having my sister's punch bowl cake, but my sister hasn't been able to come up to Thanksgiving at Mama's as much because it makes me sad.
They make a French toast casserole for breakfast on holidays a lot of times. That's just amazing. Like,
oh, that
my
sounds
sister
so
usually
good.
makes peanut butter pie for dessert. That's really, really good.
Oh, brother.
All kinds of good stuff. But the turkey just never super impressed me.
That's fair. I understand that.
I wonder why food theory is telling us not to eat it.
Well, I guarantee you there's a reason, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, we're going to check it out here. Matt Pat has a food theory for us. This was recommended on our Discord. So, yeah, food theory. Stop eating turkey, or Thanksgiving turkey. Here we go.
In the past, I've made it no secret that Thanksgiving is easily my favorite time of the year. The only thing about Thanksgiving I enjoy more than gobbling up food, though, is gobbling up knowledge. In fact, a couple years ago, we did an episode on how we've been cooking turkey the wrong way. But now it's come to my attention that some people think that it wasn't the method of cooking that was the problem, but rather the fact that we were cooking turkey in the first place. So today I'm going to be taking a closer look at the challenger that's coming in to take the Thanksgiving crown, ham. Which giant hunk of...
Ham is superior to turkey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know there's some turkey lovers out there. Ham is superior.
Meat should you be passing around the dinner table this Thanksgiving? We're about to find out.
In fact, I
Hello,
believe I
Internet.
heard my mom say that we are having ham for Thanksgiving. Like, that's what they did. They switched to having Thanksgiving ham. And I think it's because it's really easy to. It's a lot easier to end up with a really good ham. Than
Yes, turkey is. It's very easy to mess up turkey. It is not that hard. It's not that hard to. It's very. Or I'm sorry. It's very hard to mess up a good ham, because ham is just. Oh God, so good.
Welcome to Food Theory, the show that's the definition of based. Get it? Like a turkey based? Never mind. Everyone's always so eager to jump straight from Halloween to Christmas, completely neglecting the best holiday of them all, Thanksgiving. Making turkey hams, gathering with the family, watching more and more anime characters.
Halloween is still great, dude. It's still probably my favorite, but I still love Christmas so much. But people forget about Thanksgiving. Everybody forgets about Thanksgiving. God.
Get added to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's those traditions that you come to expect every year that makes Thanksgiving so special to me. But of course, no tradition is more synonymous with Turkey Day than, well, the turkey itself. Each year, a whopping 88% of Americans scarf down turkey for Thanksgiving. But people seem to be less and less thankful for their Thanksgiving turkey with each passing year. In another study conducted in 2022, participants were asked to rank their least favorite Thanksgiving Day dishes. And guess what was voted the least favorite of them all?
Turkey!
That's right, cranberry sauce. But number 2 on that.
Oh,
makes sense.
Actually, now that you mentioned, yeah, cranberry sauce. Unless it's paired with something very good, yeah.
I have a theory that I don't have any evidence to support this. I just have anecdotal evidence, but it seems to me that women and men have differentiating taste buds in certain aspects.
Yes.
Every woman I've ever dated loves cranberry sauce that I can remember.
I like cranberry sauce whenever it's paired with something.
I despise it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's disgusting.
That's fair.
That worst list was turkey. People like green bean casserole more than turkey.
That's
Ugh.
gross.
No. Green bean casserole, worse than turkey.
If you're gonna make a casserole, you best not be putting green beans in it.
Absolutely.
Not inviting you back to Thanksgiving.
Do not put green beans in my casserole. If you do, we're fighting.
The green beans are their own thing for a reason.
Dude, my grandma can make a green bean casserole, and I'll look her straight in the face and say, no. I'll look, literally, like, Grandma, no.
Thanksgiving
Just
turkey
make
is too
good green
boring,
beans.
too difficult, and when done
Yes.
wrong, it is too dry to be worth all the effort. And to that I say, well, go watch our Thanksgiving video from a few years ago where we teach you how to spatchcock. It's a method for making juicy turkey that's as fun to do as it is to say. But if this Thanksgiving
Yeah, you
class
basically... I've seen that version. Like, you split the turkey in it, and it cooks more evenly.
ruffles these people's feathers, then what are they trying to put at the head of the table? Well, the new hot thing to cook up is apparently the other white meat, ham. Bucking historical tradition, people are hamming it up for the ham, claiming that ham is a cheaper, healthier, and easier entree that actually pairs better with many of our favorite Thanksgiving side dishes. So today, I'm going to be putting them head-to-head based on
Not
each
sure
of those
if
categories.
ham being healthier than turkey tracks.
No, because usually poultry is traditionally healthier than pork. I mean, at least from what I understand about like physiology and everything.
To see which one comes out on top as the new headliner for Thanksgiving. Ladies and gentlemen, theorists of all ages, it's time for the matchup that you've been waiting for. The battle in November to remember. It's ham versus the undisputed heavyweight champion of this particular holiday, turkey. For our main event, it's not about winning the most rounds, but rather who can get the most good shots in. After all, some things matter more when it comes to chowing down. We'll keep score, and when the final bell rings, whoever's on top is going to be our champion. No hitting below the giblets there, friends. Just some good, clean debating on both sides. Let's begin. Starting off, let's just take a look at history. When it comes to historical significance, people have been eating turkeys every November ever since the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag shared the first Thanksgiving back in 1621. Well, actually, we don't know for sure what was eaten during that famous
Yeah,
first
exactly.
feast.
That history is pop culture. It's always the popular prevailing theory as to what people designate as the truth instead of what actually happened. God.
According to some of the only surviving accounts of that first Thanksgiving, the Wampanoag went out and killed 5 deer, and the Pilgrims sent 4 men to go fowling. And even though wild turkeys were a pretty common fowl in the 17th century New England, it's just as likely that they caught geese or ducks. Or most likely, probably some combination of all 3, considering the size of the guest list that needed to be fed. The concept of the main Thanksgiving dish being turkey actually solidified much later. But whether it was the first Thanksgiving or after the Civil War, the fact of the matter is turkey has been the main entree for a long time. So ham is going to have to really set itself apart in the other rounds if it wants to knock out the reigning champ. On to round 2, nutrition. With so many different varieties and styles of turkey and ham, this ended up proving to be a bit harder to compare than I originally thought. Right off the bat, both turkey and ham, like most meals, are super low when it comes to carbohydrates. And sure, the glaze or the brine that you add to your meats can add a little bit of carbs in the form of sugar. In the end, both turkey and ham are decent additions to your plate if you're trying to take on the impossible remain keto during Thanksgiving challenge. However, pound for pound, turkey, especially the white meat, is just way better for you than ham. White meat turkey, for the same amount of calories per pound, has less fat, it has less cholesterol, and it has a heck of a lot less sodium than our porky little pal. Per 100 grams.
Why did you do that?
It's the one ham nobody wants to cook up and eat.
Oh, no. Oh.
Grams of ham, there is a full gram of sodium. Might not seem like much, I mean, that's just 1% after all, but in just 100 grams of ham, you'd be eating 65% of your daily recommended sodium level. And that's before you dig into any other holiday goodies. Excess sodium levels have been linked to heart disease, weight gain, and a slew of other health problems. But of course, white meat isn't the
So I worry about my mom because my mom loves salt, especially on her fries. Anytime I get her fries from anywhere, she always like, pass me a salt shaker. I'm like, they're already salted. Like, all right.
the only meat that's coming off the bone when it comes to turkey. When compared to dark meat, ham starts to shine a bit more. Dark meat turkey has more calories, more fat, and more cholesterol than ham, but still has more protein and much less sodium. But while all of this pound-for-pound punching might work fine for a boxing match, is it truly the fairest comparison for our food fight? If you saw our recent healthy fast food burger episode, you probably already know the answer to this. The fact of the matter is, we don't eat turkey and ham in quite the same way. When you're shopping for your Thanksgiving turkey, the rule of thumb is to buy between a pound and a pound and a half of raw turkey per guest that you're serving. On the flip side, when buying ham, you only need to pick up between a third and a half pound per eater. The reason is because ham loses significantly less weight than turkey when you cook it. Remember, ham is already processed by curing the pork, either with a wet or dry brine. So what you're buying is closer to the final weight of what you're actually going to be eating than with turkey. Don't think this means that it cancels anything out though. Even if you take into consideration weight loss from cooking and the bones, you can still expect people to eat between half and slightly over 4/5 of a pound of just meat. This means that, well, yes, when you compare turkey and ham pound for pound, the battle looks lopsided. But considering the fact that you're expected to eat half as much ham on Thanksgiving as turkey, that evens the playing field quite a bit. When you compare them this way, ham actually has about the same amount of fat, but less calories and less cholesterol than even the white meat. All of this being said though, is this even a relevant comparison? Thanksgiving isn't about being healthy, and unfortunately for ham, turkey gets the bonus of a 1-2 combo of having different meats to serve your family based on their taste, dark or white. Plus, we have to tack on another point here because of how much turkey you can and usually do eat. If the meal's all about eating a whole lot and celebrating that fact, well, turkey's got it down.
Damn. Turkey has a commanding lead.
Yeah.
It's just like when Gray Maynard fought Frankie Edgar. When he knocked Frankie Edgar down like 6 times in the first round. It's like,
I think
Jesus.
I know which one's about to win on price, though.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing. It's like getting a turkey at Thanksgiving time during the year. They know what they got.
Yeah.
And they know they're going to sell it. And so they can charge you what they want, pretty much.
Yeah.
Whereas ham, being the less popular of the two, probably shouldn't go up in price that much around this time of year.
Not really.
So.
Let's take a
next
look.
round, let's consider the less fun, but certainly important part of the holiday experience, the price. Prices for everything in the grocery store seem to be going up every single year, but usually your average American spends around $35 for a 15-pound turkey. With the average cost of ham being around $5.65 per pound, a 7.5-pound ham, which remember should feed about the same amount of people as a 15-pound butterball, should cost you around $42. Throw in the fact that you also have to pay extra to have your ham pre-brined and deboned, and it's clear that turkey is the economical option here.
Okay.
That being said, since ham...
Oh wait, but don't forget, because the turkey has to be cooked, and it'll lose a lot of its mass. from that.
Is a lot easier to find in smaller portions compared to your turkey if you have a smaller or less meat-inclined family to feed, or you don't feel like having leftovers for a week that you end up throwing away anyway. You might find ham a better option to prevent food waste.
Ham.
Cost and nutrition are certainly major considerations when preparing for your Thanksgiving feast, but we all know what Thanksgiving is really about, and that's the taste. And no, I'm not just gonna sit here and debate the tastiness of turkey versus ham. That comes down to more of personal taste. But still, there's more to Thanksgiving than just the main show. For many, it's the side dishes that really get our mouths a-watering. You may assume if we switch from turkey to ham that everything else is gonna go flying out the window, but fret not. What if I told you that ham actually pairs just as well, if not better than turkey, when it comes to all your favorite fall-time foods?
Yes.
A quick Google search best side dishes to pair well with ham actually returns you many familiar faces. Carrots, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes. Some of the best Thanksgiving side dishes should taste even better when placed on the plate next to ham. Why? Well, turkey is a great protein to pair with a lot of things because of how plain it is. It allows it to be a canvas that you can pair a variety of flavors with, but doesn't provide much in terms of flavor by itself. Ham, on the other hand, pairs well with all the familiar sides because, just like we covered, it's salty and brined, and so it packs a punch of flavor already. While your heart might not appreciate those elevated salt levels, your tongue will. When it comes to flavor pairings, there's a couple of tricks to optimizing flavor. The first thing to keep in mind is that salt is king, really. Professional chefs often say the difference between their cooking and schlubs like us is how much salt they're using. So piling on salty dishes, especially...
How dare you put Gordon Ramsay on top of Salt Bae? How dare you? Gordon Ramsay's actually a good cook.
naturally salty
Maybe
ones like
that's
pork
why he
should
put
make...
his face over Salt Bae's.
Actually, okay. Fair enough.
For the most tastiness. The other key is to have the same flavor profile appear in multiple dishes. If our ham is salty, side dishes that are also salty will help build a cohesive gastronomic through line. That means that sides that are rich in butter or cheese like mashed potatoes or potatoes au gratin can be elevated by placing them next to your salty Thanksgiving ham.
Jesus.
The other way to enhance the flavors of your meat is to have flavors that don't mimic but complement the main dish. If you want to elevate your sodium-laced ham, balance it against something sweet. Sweet potatoes, all kinds of pie, even the oft-hated cranberry sauce would actually be
Okay, no. That cranberry sauce can get fucked. The canned cranberry sauce, ugh.
It's not even a sauce, man. That's a jelly.
Yeah, whereas
That's gelatin. Like,
whereas me,
fucking gross.
I like handmade cranberry sauce. That stuff's good.
proved by
especially
cutting turkey.
by
I'd much
comparison.
rather have the sweet taters.
Fair enough.
Cold turkey. Some of you might have noticed that there's one classic component that I haven't mentioned yet, and that's the stuffing. Traditionally, stuffing is cooked inside your Thanksgiving bird, which allows the juicy flavors of the turkey and stuffing to commingle. However, for a variety of reasons, more and more families are opting to cook their stuffing separately. And yeah, I know that technically makes it dressing, not stuffing, but I'm just gonna call it stuffing because that's what we all know it as. When you cook your stuffing outside of the turkey, it speeds up the cooking time by somewhere between 15 and 45 minutes, depending on the size of the bird. And if you've ever had a hungry house of people waiting not so patiently for their turkey, that time can be a game changer. Some have even gone so far as to say that the stuffing is more juicy when cooked on its own, since it's less likely to be overcooked. So consider making that stuffing on the stovetop while your spatchcocked turkey sits in the oven. It might not just taste better, it may also be safer as well. If you've cooked a turkey before, you know that the magic number for the internal temperature is around 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's because turkey, like most other fowl, have a significant risk of salmonella poisoning. Making sure the entire bird gets to 165 degrees ensures that all the bacteria that may otherwise be inside the turkey is killed off.
Die, bacteria.
But since we often check the bird and not the stuffing, if the stuffing also doesn't reach 165 degrees, the risk of food poisoning is very real. That's why the USDA doesn't recommend anyone cook their stuffing inside the turkey anymore. And if cooking your stuffing is faster, juicier, and safer without the turkey, then there's no reason you can't have your stuffing with anything, including ham. Heck, you could probably experiment with the flavor profile of your stuffing to make it sync up even better with the ham. Throw some mustard, garlic, even some spring onion in there. All right, we're down to the final round. Final chance to score any points.
I would
Forget all the
probably
nutrition.
like stuffing better if they threw some garlic in.
The price, the flavors. I think the real reason people are opting away from Thanksgiving turkey is because of how gosh darn difficult it is to cook right. First, you have to defrost the thing, which can take several hours or even days, depending on how you're doing it. Next, you have to meticulously brine the bird so it's nice and tender the way you like it. Then, if you're spatchcocking, you gotta sadistically break its bones to flatten it. And only then does the cooking process truly begin. And it's not like you could just set the timer and check back in when it's done. Between keeping a constant eye on the temperature, basting it like there's no tomorrow, and juggling all the different side dishes, waiting for for a turkey to roast is more akin to waiting on a NASA mission. And after literally slaving over a hot stove all day, what's the thanks that you get? Well, if you were successful, you get a pat on the back. But if that turkey comes out even the tiniest bit dry, you basically ruin Thanksgiving for everyone. Why? Why does turkey all too often come out tasting dry despite our best efforts? Well, that's because turkey, despite being one singular bird, is more like cooking two different cuts of meat at the same time. I covered this in the Spatchcock episode, but essentially the dark meat and the white meat cook at different rates, with the dark meat usually reaching that all-important 165 degrees last. That means that while you're waiting for that turkey leg to raise the last couple of degrees, your already cooked white meat is drying out and fast. The Spatchcock method does help, but the risk of drying is still very real. Ham is the cooler, lower maintenance option. Despite taking a bit longer to cook at 18 to 20 minutes per pound compared to turkey's 13, it ends up being significantly less stressful and is more likely to produce a juicy bite every time due to ham's higher fat content. Throw in how much easier it is to cut and serve the ham compared to the veritable brain surgery that you need to do on turkey to get it on people's plates, and I think it's time that we call the fight.
The winner is
Any last
turkey.
words, gentlemen? No? Well, after tallying up the scores, it's clear that we have ourselves a pretty evenly fought match. Turkey still sneaked out ahead, but ham brought in plenty of solid evidence that it should be the king of the Thanksgiving table, which means that in the end, the final winner of this battle is...
No.
Ostrich. See, in recent
Really?
researching this episode, the debate centered around ham and turkey, but there's another option that should be talked about here even more. The ostrich. Another flightless bird that we often overlook is starting to rise in popularity, even if it's not being looked at quite yet for Thanksgiving. Ostrich has less fat, less calories, less cholesterol, and higher protein than even turkey. Because of its low fat and high protein levels, it does run the danger of overcooking like turkey, but there's an important detail that separates it. You can cook it medium rare. Due to the ideal pH balance of the meat, there's little to no risk of it being contaminated with salmonella and E. coli like other fowl. That means you ideally just cook it like a premium steak. And it doesn't just cook like a nice juicy steak, it also has the taste of that steak. While you're busy drowning your turkey in ham and gravy and mustard to try and get it down your gullet, ostrich is described as tasting closer to filet mignon. That said, it also comes with the cost of filet mignon. Couple bucks cheaper, but ostrich ain't winning any points in the price category. Basically, it has all the benefits of red meat, but in bird form. Heck, it even produces a tenth of the greenhouse gases of your other red meats. So from a sustainability standpoint, it knocks everything else out of the park. Is it the cheapest option available? No, not by a long shot. But for a once-a-year spectacle, tell me that you wouldn't be the talk of the town if you started serving ostrich for Thanksgiving. It's got the taste, the versatility.
That is...
The thing is, with my family and all the people in my family that say you didn't cook the meat properly if it's not fucking burnt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, your family's
I
well
wouldn't be able
done.
to get any of them to eat that if it was cooked properly.
My family...
So they would be like, this is raw.
Well, there's some people out there in my family, I will say this, who do prefer medium, or who do prefer like well done. Most of my family prefers medium.
And the wow factor that makes it deserving of being the next headliner for Thanksgiving. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit.
So much like turkey, I never understood for a very, very long time until I was in my, actually I think, late 20s, why people like steak so much. That's because my mom always raised me to think that if it wasn't well done, it wasn't safe.
And that's untrue.
Therefore, I've always had nothing but well done steak, which sucks.
It does.
So...
Basically, it's like you're trying to chew through a boot.
Just in the past few years, I finally was just like, I want to try a medium steak. And I'm like, holy shit.
You remember that one I made you, that one I did sous vide?
Oh, yeah. I've had a bunch of good steaks you've made me, actually. But, like, the best one ever was my sister made me one, and she had this garlic and herb butter on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one I had that wasn't well done, that I was just like, this is why people like steak. I get it now. Know what I mean?
Nah, I get that. I need to do the different experimentations with...
Then she proceeded to forget how she made that garlic and herb butter, and I've never been able to have that exact same kind of steak again. It made me sad, but oh well.
Well, honestly, that's just how it is sometimes. Honestly, I would love to do another steak run one time, and just do what I did last time. Like whenever Flea and Megan come up again, do like a sous vide thing, and then basically just do garlic and herb, Do like the different, like do like a teriyaki steak. Just try different things and see which one everyone likes. But yeah, that's in the future.
Another thing I kind of wonder is why don't people just well, I guess the reason being because you'd basically be cooking twice to get the turkey, and part of the turkey will be cold. But why don't people just separate the white meat and dark meat and cook them each separately?
Well, there's some people who believe that you have to have the whole turkey just there on the table, or
According to what
together.
Pat was just saying, that's just a recipe for having part of your turkey not be that great, though.
Yeah.
That's probably why there's always like the people that are like, I want the dark meat on the turkey. It's not necessarily because it's the dark meat, it's because that's the less dry of the turkey at that point.
It is.
So,
which once again, that's why my uncle boils his to a certain degree, because with the moisture absorbed in, it basically guarantees that it'll always have that. Like it'll still be juicy.
yeah,
It won't dry out as easy.
To the temperature without the front of it drying out.
Yeah. He also does a thing where he puts a temperature probe in on the dark meat side, and he always makes sure that the dark meat is at 165 or more. He doesn't try to go anything over 165, but honestly, that's just the nature of it all. But yeah, this is a very good video, and
good food for thought.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop eating turkey. I still like turkey, especially if my uncle's cooking it. But yeah,
I want to try ostrich now.
I do want to try ostrich. Which actually funny that they mention ostrich, because Guga from Guga Foods cooked an emu egg not too long ago, and he did like a sous vide of like an emu egg. Have you ever seen sous vide eggs before?
I think so.
Basically, the middle of the egg, the yolk comes out like a yellow pearl, and you basically can season it and eat it as is. A lot of people use them as like toppings on a sandwich because it basically becomes like butter, like egg butter. And I saw one time he actually like battered it up and like deep fried it, and then he cut it up and ate it that way. Another time he put it on top of a steak and like had it as like a complimentary thing on top of steak. Damn, I want to try that, especially considering I got a sous vide machine. Anyway, so that's going to do it, everyone. This was the Food Theory. Stop eating Thanksgiving turkey. This one was recommended on our Discord. We greatly appreciate graciously appreciate the request.
Thanks for making me hungry.
Yeah. And until next time, everyone, signing off, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. Take care. Peace.